Welcome. Let's get started. Trump asked Netanyahu to reduce attacks on Lebanon. The U.S. president is worried that these attacks might affect the peace agreement with Iran. Netanyahu, in turn, is said to have promised to avoid bombings. After the clashes, Israel announced it would start negotiations with Lebanon. It seems that just a day before, Israel's attack caused explosions in Lebanon, which messed up the peace talks between Iran and the U.S. According to the latest reports, China is said to have taken the crucial step in making the peace agreement happen. Apparently, throughout the whole conflict, China had been encouraging Iran to negotiate with the U.S., and they finally succeeded. According to the Wolf's Journal, it was through this effort that the Chinese leader managed to boost his diplomatic standing in front of CD Donald Trump. It's reported that Bundapeken's main goal is to strengthen his political influence ahead of the upcoming summit. Meanwhile, Israel has been in talks for quite some time with Lebanon, which suggests that the peace agreement between the U.S. and Iran is still holding. The negotiations are said to focus on disarming Hezbollah and establishing peaceful relations between Israel and Lebanon. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced that talks with Lebanon will start soon. Lebanon has called several times for direct negotiations with Israel. Last night, I instructed the cabinet to begin direct talks with Lebanon as soon as possible, the Prime Minister said in a statement. According to him, the talks aim to disarm Hezbollah and establish peaceful relations between Israel and Lebanon. Report by channel reporter Barak Rovin. According to reports, the start of the talks in Lebanon doesn't mean a ceasefire has been agreed upon. A senior Lebanese official told the RUT agency that Lebanon is in favor of a temporary ceasefire in the next 24 hours to create conditions for more talks with Israel. A senior Israeli official told Axios that direct talks between Israel and Lebanon will begin next week in Washington. The talks will involve Lebanon's Hezbollah group. It wasn't confirmed if they took part. Your News said that on the night of April 8th, the U.S. and Iran announced they had reached an agreement to stop fighting. Meanwhile, Israel kept striking Lebanon. The U.S. government said the ceasefire doesn't apply to Lebanon. Israel stressed that it's not fighting directly with Lebanon, but with Hezbollah in Lebanese territory, and carried out attacks. It's definitely a positive sign that countries are coming to the table for peace, especially after more than almost 4 years. A temporary ceasefire has finally been announced in the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Both countries have agreed to pause fighting for a short time. Russian President Vladimir Putin declared a peace ceasefire with Ukraine for Easter. This was reported by the Kremlin press service. According to the report, the ceasefire was declared by Russia's commander-in-chief Vladimir Putin in connection with the upcoming Orthodox Easter. The fighting is set to stop from 4 p.m. on April 11th until April 12th. The ceasefire will last until the end of the day. Defense Minister Andrei Belousov and Chief of Staff Valery Gerasimov have issued orders to stop all combat activities in every direction during this period. The Kremlin expressed hope in its statement that Ukraine will also comply. At the same time, Russian forces have been instructed to be ready to prevent any provocations that might come from the other side. Meanwhile, Ukraine will also stick to the ceasefire. The country's president, Vladimir Zelensky, he confirmed readiness to implement a ceasefire during the Easter holidays. Ukraine has repeatedly emphasized its willingness to take symmetrical steps. This year, we proposed a ceasefire for Easter and will act accordingly. He wrote on social media that people need real efforts toward Easter and peace, free from threats. He also mentioned there's a chance to avoid returning to strikes. Iran's new top leader, Mostafa Hamadani, vowed revenge for his father's death. He promised to take action. Iran's supreme leader, Mojtaba Khomeini, in his address to the nation, said that the country has so far emerged victorious in its conflict with the U.S. and Israel. He emphasized maintaining control over the situation and urged neighboring countries to stay on the right path. The supreme leader also stated that the country is not seeking war. His statement came against the backdrop of upcoming peace talks with the U.S. Mojtaba Khomeini stressed that Iran will not give up its rights and will continue to keep a close watch on the situation. He said, "We will definitely take managing Khorezboaz to a whole new level." He also demanded compensation from the U.S. and Israel for the damage caused by their high-level airstrikes. "We will absolutely demand compensation for every bit of damage and for the blood of every martyr spilled," the supporter said. He made it clear that Iran's former supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's father, and other fallen heroes will be avenged without fail. All those killed in his second and third strikes. Mojtaba Khomeini added that a strong will to avenge the spilled blood of the martyrs lives in our hearts. Addressing the neighboring countries, he urged the old generation to stay on the right path and not be fooled by the devil's false promises. The enemy's dreams will die with them. Iran announced it will not stop enriching uranium. Baksva said Israel will never be able to stop Tehran's uranium enrichment program. This was stated by the Iranian president. Mohammad Islami, the head of Iran's Atomic Energy Organization, said that the pressure from Western countries won't work. He stressed that the claims and demands from rivals to limit Iran's uranium enrichment program are just unrealistic dreams. Those dreams will die with them, he said. He also mentioned that the aggressive actions by Israel and the U.S. against Iran will never succeed. From now on, the sides are waiting behind the negotiating table for a breakthrough from Tehran. Before the airstrikes carried out by Israel and the U.S. in June 2025, Iran was believed to have over 400 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium and nearly 200 kilograms of 20% nuclear material. IAEA Chief Rafael Grossi says these stockpiles are mainly stored in underground tunnels at the nuclear complex in Isfahan and in nearby warehouses. Until the 2-week water supply ran out, U.S. President Donald Trump remained in Iran. There were reports about planning a super complex and risky military operation to extract 453 kilograms of uranium. Stay with us. See you again. Take care.